Damiani hours. Is this Damiani's time? I'm on the couch this time. Switch to OBS. Stop it. Yeah, I had this issue the other day. We made some changes to the PC, and I had some issues. I did a test and was looking at it on the monitor on the TV and was like, wait, I'm not there. It was weird. I was like a ghost or something. I was like a vampire looking into a mirror. Yeah, I gotta wear the hoodie. Gets a little cold in this room at night during the wee hours. And it is the wee hours. It is 1:45 in the morning right now. And this is kind of a magical time for me. I think I've streamed a couple of times around this time before. But,
reports of a car crash with hostile Maja in the area.
Gotta go do some crimes.
From Clinton. Over.
So I'm finishing up the Turf Wars DLC. There will be very minimal spoilers tonight because I'm done with the story. I'm just doing crimes. And I really wanted to check this out right when I got it. The embargo lifted yesterday for playing it. Maybe I can play this on easy mode and just suspension matrix everybody. Let's just do this all night. Just fight a bunch of blue dudes. This review copy was provided to me by PlayStation. I played this mostly yesterday. And I usually play for like 30 minutes to an hour after the podcast, even if I'm done with it at like 2 in the morning. Tuesdays are long days. It's just kind of nice to... We talk about games all day on Tuesdays. We're shooting a bunch of stuff, and so it's just like very tempting to play video games as well. And if you're unfamiliar with the DLC for... Here, buddy. Oh, actually, no. Let's get it again. How do I feel about the Felicia DLC? The first DLC is definitely better than the second one. The second one's very mob-focused, very combat-focused. And I kind of want to talk about it without necessarily spoiling it.
Those Hammerhead guys won't be bothering anyone anymore?
Yeah, there we go. So you can play it yourself if you have not played this one specifically, or another one, or you're... I hear the sentiment from a lot of people with Spider-Man that they want to wait until all 3 of them are out, which, you know, totally makes sense. You're still playing Odyssey, you're still playing Red Dead. You're waiting for Smash Brothers. And it's like, I'll play these over the holiday. And I'd say the Felicia Hardy one is like 3 hours, maybe plus, like 3.5. This one's definitely only about 3. This one's a little bit shorter. Turf Wars. And who knows how long the next one's going to be. And so, like, you know, that's a weekend if you wait till you get all 3. So this is definitely me unwinding at the end of a long day, and this is such a great way to do it. And what I try to do when I play the Spider-Man, this specific Spider-Man game, when it came to, like, deciding what I want to do at any specific time, there are moments in the game where he, you know, Yuri, the voice actor, and Peter, kind of makes it clear, like, I'm just gonna take it easy right now. I don't necessarily need to, like, go help somebody right now, or, like, this might be a good time to just go and see if somebody needs help, just out in New York. Who are you fighting? Oh, these guys up here. I also like web bombs. I really like web bombs. So these are new enemy types. Whoa. I don't know if there's such a thing as enemy type spoilers, but you got these rocket guys who like to jump at you, and they leave that little trail behind them, which is a pain. But they're just like shield dudes. You just go underneath them to knock them out. They got a little bit more health. Let me know if any of you are sensitive to costume spoilers. I'm in his default costume. Oh, also when you're on rooftops, it's just fun to do that. Knock them off. Ouch. Oh, there's guys down there, that's right. Let's electric web these dudes. It's fun to have all these gizmos right when you start each DLC.
Inspires dedication in his troops.
But every DLC has their own, you know, the 2 so far have had their own. We also got to do this guy. Maybe we'll crunch on the Hammerhead Front's enemy base. But, oh, we got 2 of those, actually. Not bad. But as you can see, I got 3 out of 5 crimes in this district. Finished the crimes in that district. Got 2 there, 4 there. So, They each
And
have
after
like their
he's
new
out of the
style of
picture.
crime. Some of them are very similar to the game. But there is I will say this. We will do a costume spoiler at the end of the stream, because when you finish the game, you get a costume, and I'm very excited about that costume, so I'm going to want to wear that right away. And let's head north. Fun to get to know this city. Fun to come back to it after a while. Take a little break away from it, and then jump back in. A couple fun new locations, and location interiors of places you're familiar with, which I think is smart to do for DLC like this. You make this big open world map, and you're like, we don't have a lot of time to do interiors, so we got to do very specific ones. Lots of fun interiors in the main campaign for Spider-Man. So it's fun in the DLC to, like, you've seen the outside of this building, but you haven't necessarily been in there, and so... And a lot of people were debating what they would possibly do for Spider-Man 2, and I think you could have the same exact map. You could still just do Manhattan again, and there's all sorts of
Straight to the wrap. I got
fun places
4.9
you could go.
stars.
We could see the inside of that we never do.
I'll teach you respect.
There we go. I don't know how good I will be at combat if I am chatting it up with chat. What's up, Delco? Thank you for the resub. So yeah, this is not the way I plan to cover the DLC for Spider-Man, graciously provided by PlayStation. But just kind of seemed to work out this way. And this definitely happened with the first DLC is also where I was done with it and still had some crimes to do.
How'd these hammerhead guys get here so fast?
And he definitely changes his voiceover, so you'll hear him talking about Hammerhead, and I have dealt with Hammerhead, so he comments on, like, why are these guys still fighting Hammerhead's battles if I've already, you know, finished the DLC. Surprise, surprise. These guys are a little sneaky. And losing my groove. Okay. Two spider rounds. Man. Oh, I got taken out. Definitely distracted. I haven't watered my cup. Fill that next time I die. Not Tombstone dudes, Hammerhead dudes. Hammerhead is not a lot of spider. Uh-oh. Well, that was a crime, so I don't get to redo the crime. Just hope till that pops up. Do the crime or wait some time is the name of the game tonight. So, yeah, long story short, I'm way down just to go back to this exact same map in a Spider-Man 2. Just give me new villains, new types of stories, new playable characters, all sorts of fun stuff you can do with this playground. It's fun to just know the city, and it's his home. I think it'd be weird to see Spider-Man, like, not be able to run up the Empire State Building and go to some of these places. There we go. It's alright. I'm underestimating these. I definitely would run around and just do silly crimes with, like, the,
Sable tech being used in shootouts. Thanks, Hammerhead.
basic crimes that you can still do at the end of the main campaigns, but
Fighter to do when the lesser of
these
two
guys aren't
evils
messing.
is also kind of evil, you know?
This isn't your problem, Spider-Man. This is my territory.
love webbing them and then grabbing them. Really fun. Throwing them against, like, the car. Against their friends. This game definitely takes some adjustment, too. Like, if you haven't played in a while, you're like, how do I, what? That's what's great about it. I normally didn't play, like, a lot of action games like this. I'm actually curious, the more, like, Batman and Spider-Man that I've played, if that's made me better at, like, Devil May Cry at all? Because I'm definitely... You know, Devil May Cry 5 looks amazing, and I've just always sucked at, like, Bayonetta and all those games. There's just so much going on, it's hard for my brain to keep track. But I don't know.
There's more of that for ya!
Guess it was wishful thinking
There
that
we
those
go.
hammerhead
Built up our
thugs would
meter.
disappear with their boss.
I can drop some unrelenting fury on the next gang, and then we're done with this district. So this isn't going to take very long. Devil May Cry in the Spider-Man universe? Who knows? What's up, Raul Giovanni? What's up, everybody? I know it's odd hours. Some people in Europe are probably stoked. I don't know. Is it? What time is it in Europe? Hylian Ronan, thank you for the resub. Again, a happy Turkey Day to you as well. Cup of Jones still isn't in the calendar. There will be a Cup of Jones something. It's just not going to be the regular Cup of Jones. But I'm going to shoot something tomorrow, and it'll just be fun holiday wishes, quick little updates. But I'm not going to take questions. Tomorrow being Wednesday, which is today, later today. And then Thursday is Turkey Day. There's no perfect day for Cup of Jones. Stuff is always happening. I think I've gone into the next district. Oh, okay, I'm 5 out of 5 here, 4 out of 5 there, so I gotta head back. What's weird is at the end of the 2 DLCs, they don't have kind of like the mode that just keeps the game going. Like, you don't just get like basic Hammerhead missions or basic Sable missions or, you know, or crimes rather, like you do in the campaign, which is odd. New York just kind of is peaceful. And the DLC is interesting. If you haven't loaded it up, you actually go to like a whole separate screen that you can see on the top there. It says DLC. And you have to like load that DLC. So I'm in that chapter in that world. So it definitely separates itself from the main campaign. But... and it's neat, like, you know, this Turf Wars was not as exciting as the first DLC. I think they just did a great job. Black Cat's such a fun character. I think they did a really great job at not only representing her, but it was a fun little story. But, you remember, like, the Batman stuff. And the Batman stuff was always really cool because you played as new characters, but still... I don't want to do that. Oh, there we go. The crime.
Hostiles are engaged in an active shootout. Officers, please converge on
I just think I would have much preferred something like this with the Arkham games, where it was like very story specific. You're definitely going to want to play it before the next game comes out, otherwise you're going to miss this stuff plot-wise. And...
oh, come on, arguing in public like this really isn't classy, folks.
I hate the fighters, but I hate Hammerhead guys more. He's too quick up there.
These are like 2 different gangs fighting each other. You got the guys down below, and then you got these guys up top. But this is fun, because you can just... boink, boink, get out of here. Oh, alright, okay, okay. There we go. Oh, no, leave that red stuff. That's not fun.
Whoa! What the hell?
Where did the guy go? There. Here, buddy.
Get me out of this!
Will Hammerhead's troops
Oh, I didn't do my
ever stop
unrelenting
being loyal to
fury.
him?
Do you check out the newspapers? I don't. I'm pretty rushed when I play this game. I don't really kind of stop and smell the roses. So there we go. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Central Park's done. Let's go head over here. And I think that's it. Because it's interesting. A lot of the first DLC crimes were all in this area. And then they're very much isolated in this one. So we're doing good. This wasn't going to take me long anyway. We have 4 more crimes, so yeah. 7 more crimes total. Why don't we just fast travel there? These DLCs feel like 3 issues from a comic. Yeah, that's one interesting way to look at it. I'm sure Insomniac would very much like you to look at it that way. Wah, wah. Am I going to stream Red Dead? Yeah. I started and did not want to play too much of a playthrough of Red Dead where I'm not nice to people, which is definitely not the way that I played it. I definitely tried to be as honorable as I could. And I started a playthrough where I'm very antagonistic and very not patient and very cruel and as an experiment, you know. But I know a lot of people play that way, and so I might stream some of that. That's like the main justification I can think of for like playing that game all over again. So that might make you sad. It might not be the Jones Red Dead stream you want, but it's interesting. It's restrictive and freeing at the same time to play Red Dead that way, because it's restrictive because it's not the way I usually play, and so I really have to kind of force myself to be terrible. And I mean, like, really terrible. Like one guy got stung by not stung, or bit by a snake, and you can either give him medicine or you can suck out the poison, and you'll bump into him later and he'll buy you a weapon. And so it's a fun little side story that like has relevance later. And my second playthrough, I just watched him die. He came and was like, "Help, mister! I got bit! Can you help me?" And I just sat there and watched him until he lost consciousness, and then I robbed him. Terrible. But it's like, I want to just see the world kick that way, you know? I want to see, like, what it does in response. Because the systems in that game are so deep. But it's just, still, it's gross. So, like, it feels icky and constrictive in that way, but at the same time, it's very freeing because I'm, like, robbing people now, and I never really did that, and all sorts of terrible stuff. Yeah. You bump into him twice, actually. I sucked out the venom the first time, and then I had... By the second time I saw him, like, my inventory was always maxed out, and so I'm like, hey, you want medicine? I got medicine. How's the studio search going? It's good. We're in the, there's either two things going on in the studio search. We're either looking for a place, like discussing or checking places out, or putting in an offer, and we're basically in the offer process. And so we put in an offer. They said, "What do you think about these terms?" And we were like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then they're like, "Yeah, what about this?" And we're like, "Okay." And then, "Can you give us some more financial information?" So we're putting that together. So it's just a lot of like back and forth and back and forth. And the owner is out of the country right now, and so our schedules are wildly different, and response time's a little slow. And the holidays are coming up, specifically Thanksgiving. So hopefully in December that schedule will pick up. But looking at a place right now. And if you're just hanging out watching some Spider-Man, we're possibly going to move into a studio very soon here at Easy Allies, and so very exciting. I hate to be cagey about it, I just like really want to temper expectations just in case it's like completely powerless. I'm dealing with like building owners and stuff, so it's like if they say jump, I say how high. So I'm like, look, I got this Patreon, okay, and people are really excited about getting a studio, and I'm excited about getting a studio, so you just let me know. We can, like, rent a space in the building, please.
Here comes the pain.
I hate it. I hate when I'm too early for their punches. I can tell they're winding up, and I'm like, ah, you're gonna punch me, darn it.
Don't Hammerhead goons know that everyone in this city is just trying to make a living?
Keep forgetting to... I'll save my unrelenting fury for that warehouse, maybe. One more crime in this district. How pretty this game is. Avengers Tower over there. Yeah, I've stopped doing it about, you know, 3 or 4 weeks back, but for a while there, I would boot this game up every single day and just play it for like 20 minutes and just do this. Like, this is just so freeing and just really fun to like get back to, and really excited to see with all the naturalness that Insomniac pumped into the gameplay in this. I'm really looking forward to what they could possibly do in a sequel.
Cops protecting a Hammerhead informant. I gotta help.
I hate snipers in this game. Snipers are brutal.
I know you guys wouldn't know the right thing if it was shooting you in the face. But for the record, your friend's doing it.
Oh, good old moral Spider-Man. They don't care. This game's fun. Ow!
Here comes the pain!
Don't ever tell anyone I said this.
Yay, and I finished Separate East Side Crimes. That one worked out, actually. That little combo was fun.
Hopefully that
Jones, which is
informant
your
can help
favorite
out the
costume
police.
in this game? The cartoony one. I think people probably have heard of that want to avoid costume spoilers, but yeah, that one is just gorgeous. Just such a cool thing. Give me that game. What will happen to the garage once the studio is found? Well, I'm going to move a bunch of stuff out, and I'm going to put all my stuff back up. I don't know, actually. I will update you all on... There are plans. There are things that could possibly happen to this room, this building, really. If Easy Allies gets, finds another home. One thing that I do know is that I want to continue doing Cup of Jones here. So for those of you who are patrons of Easy Allies every week, previously on Tuesdays, now on Thursdays, unless it's Thanksgiving, I talk about the business and just personal questions if people want to know stuff about me. And I'm definitely not going to drive all the way to the studio just to do that if I can do that at home. And I think people like the garage; they'll miss the garage, and so hopefully that will ease the transition to still get a little bit of time there. Still get Sophie on cam, But there we go. Yeah, Steve nailed it. Can we see Soph? It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious what Soph will make of like an office space. What you'll think about it. Can't remember ever taking her like into game trailers. I'm like, that's got to be a thing now. She's the 10th or 11th ally. Will you guys be doing a reaction to the Kinda Funny showcase? I don't know. It's weird. Like, if they're kind of funny, I don't know if they'd want us to do that. It's weird. It's weird doing a reaction of a group that does reactions. It's strange. I kind of don't want to steal the thunder, you know what I mean? I want to see how many viewers Miller can get, Like, I really want to see how far they can take that crazy idea. I'm really kind of tempted to see what that is. I don't want to kind of potentially ruin my enjoyment, my viewing of that, by, like, talking over it.
Arguing in public like this really isn't
I'm so fascinated by what that thing's going to be like. I know some of the games you're going to be talking about. I've been following some of the development of that stuff, and it's like, cool. I mean, and they're talking about it on Twitter. It's not like I have, like, insider information. But, it's fun. One of my favorite things about Greg is that, like, they just do stuff kind of funny. I'm like, hey, cool, see how that turns out. Good luck with that. Like, that's a lot of resources and a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of creativity and a lot of stuff we wish we could do given the circumstances. So it's like, stoked to see them pull this stuff off. Just like Keighley with the Game Awards. Like, yeah, go for it. if you are willing to put your foot forward and a lot of your capital and investing in it. Do I find it kind of funny? I say kind of funny way too much now. I don't know if I said kind of funny as much as I do before I'd heard of kind of funny, but every time I say it now, I'm like, damn, I just can't say that anymore. It'll never be the same with that word. Okay, what haven't we really used? Trip mines. Don't fall for that one. Oh.
You're digging your own grave!
Where's this other guy? There you are.
Hammerhead sure inspires dedication in his troops. Then after
Very late night, Linky Binky, yes. 2:09 in the morning. I'm always up around 2 in the morning on Wednesday morning because I edit the podcast. And as you can tell, I still have a lot of energy when I'm editing the podcast. We had a long day. It's very exciting. I'm excited to have all that done. Even if I'm not shooting anything beforehand, it's pretty much from like 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. Just kind of nonstop making stuff. And it's all really fun. It's like one of the most exciting regular events at Easy Allies. Just the crazy Tuesdays we have. Are you calling me a turkey, or are you saying am I excited for turkey? Yes, I'm excited for turkey. Excited to get the fam together. I am fortunate to have my parents local. To have my brother local as well, so it's nice when we can all get together.
Spider-Man! You come for some action too?
Hey, fellas, miss me?
Love the suspension matrix. It's so funny. I would shoot 2 of them. I don't know why. I love that it'll pick up some bosses too. That's actually one thing that's really fun about this DLC is these guys are a little easier. Some of your gadgets will affect certain bosses and some won't, and so it's fun to experiment and like testing on somebody and be like, well, this works. Ah.
That's everyone safe. I'll let the EMTs handle it from here.
And, yeah, and just, I know you're like, hey, this is great, why don't you do this every Wednesday night? Because, like, obviously it's fun to have a little, time to myself. When people aren't watching me play video games, I can just, like, suck at them. But, this is the Spider-Man DLC. Mr. Kyle Bossman was gracious enough to stream the first DLC, because when that came out, I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for review, and so nice to cover this game and talk about this game. And I haven't streamed a ton of Spider-Man. Streamed a little bit of Spider-Man in a group stream earlier, I think for like 20 minutes or something. We just kind of ran around and I showed some fun stuff. But reviewed this before Red Dead, and what a gift of a year of video games if you're an open world fan. Just got a lot of really, really good open world games this year. Haven't really jumped into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I plan to do that before we pick GOTYs. I'd be surprised if it usurps Red Dead for Action-Adventure Game of the Year, but I just want to play it. I just want to have a frame of reference on it. I skipped Origins. I played like a couple hours of Syndicate. I always forget the name, but I got it. Syndicate. All caught up on VR, played Tetris Effect, played Moss, and played Beat Saber, and played Astrobot, which I think are those are the Game Award nominations for VR, and I agree. It's definitely the best VR game for that.
Arguing in public like this really isn't classy, folks.
Go ahead, man. Oh, I Hey. Get my suspension matrix out.
I'll break you, little man! I don't like these
I love that so much. That never gets old. What else do we want to do? We'll do Spider-Man, fine.
Watch that Spider-Man!
Oh. Thanks, Spider-Man.
Wishful thinking that those hammerhead thugs would disappear with their boss.
I'm gonna live for 34 minutes. Nice. Would you consider going for the Red Dead 2 Platinum? Nay. No, I'm cool. There's a lot of challenges that look really, really tough. There's one challenge that's just like disarm 3 people without reloading or switching weapons. And I have tried and tried. I just shoot them. Like, it looks like the crosshair is right on their rifle and just they get shot in the stomach. And I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. We need to make a gang, the Uneasy Alliance. I actually went to make a... we should call it that, actually. I bet it's probably taken. I went to make a... I don't know what they're called with Rockstar on the Social Club. a gang or whatever. And there was one called Easy Allies, and that person was not able to change the name of the group or possibly change like the captain of the group. And so I just made one called Easy Allies Official. But don't sign up for it yet, because I'm not doing anything. But whenever that online drops, or we know the schedule for that, we can start figuring out what we want to do here at Easy Allies as far
Police
as
convoy.
Red Dead Online is
Better
concerned.
make sure they get to their destination safely.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, guys.
Word is the location's been
It's
covered.
more fun to stealth in. So this is fun. I like the lore here. You actually have to go and protect these people, and so like you don't know what's going to happen while you're on the drive. It's a fun crime. You can actually see the guys individually get into the cars, so it's like they're not just cars. Like I like that you see the person before it gets in the car, before they. And normally, like recon missions, like these missions in Assassin's Creed are always frustrating because like I don't want to be seen, and it's like, how do I know? Like get on top of buildings is tough. Oh, the guy showed up right away.
Looks like Hammerhead's men are joining the party. Better stop them.
Nailed him! You're dead now! That car shouldn't be there. Protect the witness. We're losing too many guys! Stop Spider-Man! No way we'll get at the witness with him here!
This witness is
Love that move when you
today,
slip
folks.
behind them. That
Nothing to
little
see
like
here.
thump, that little kick in the back. I love that.
Stay out of it!
Feels so gratifying when you're done. Ow.
Don't let him hit you!
Another one of those. There you go. See that dodge? I dodged it that time. Ooh, I dodged that time too. That was totally unintentional. Ow. Okay, cops, calm down. I like that they're actually fighting them, kind of. Well,
Time to die, hero.
Thanks, Spider-Man. Our witness is safe.
cop is feeling a little red
Happy to
electricity
let
there
the
for a
police
second.
take it from here.
When is Spider-Man online? Maybe Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2 being co-op? That'd be pretty sweet. Possibly playing as villains. So there you go. There's all the crimes. Woo! We just got to do these 2 Hammerhead fronts, and then that is 100% completion. Should be. Look at that last costume. So if you want to avoid the costume spoilers, you have 2 bases to go before I unlock that puppy and put it on and go running around. I'm looking forward to that. I like that there are 3 suits per DLC. I think that works. And even though the DLC is shorter, I still think they're $10 a pop, 24, 26 if you buy them all in a bunch. I think these each are easily worth $10. This last one was, you know, not as good as the first, but it was focused. Like at least like kind of made sense. Like you're going after the mafia and they're dealing with crazy weapons, and so it was more tech focused. And the first one, as I mentioned in the tweet I sent out, was just had a little more charm to it. Black Hat's just really great. More of a personal relationship. Create my own Spider-Man? Oh, shit. Oh, that'd be fun. Yo, try the new cartoon suit on the daytime noon in the main game. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I've played that at all different times. And
I made it to the business in
I
Harlem.
love how the
marked on
DLC
map I
expects
saw
you to be
in
real
Barnes
good at the
Noble.
game. That's actually a really interesting point, yeah, that I noticed.
Ah, yes.
That,
Nothing sketchy has ever happened at a
both of the
Maggio
DLCs
body
start
shop.
with a big, crazy fight.
can dig up
And
anything on
it's
Hammerhead's
interesting that the DLC is like,
thoughts
you know,
exactly.
kind of
But
forcing
you
you
know
to be
what?
like, hey, remember this game?
Easier to look around.
Oh,
and
yeah,
take
yeah.
These guys out.
Totally distracted. Gotta be snipers first. I love that people get electrocuted when they get closer. That's so great.
Holy crap!
Oh, that was fun.
Hey guys, mind if I help? I'm not great with cars, but I'm totally willing to learn.
Oh yes, I get to get this guy in my favorite way. Yeah! I never get to do that. I always don't notice when they're standing next to that thing. But how great is that? I think one regret that I have about my Spider-Man review is I didn't really mention or go into detail. Some people said I very briefly mentioned the combat, and it's obviously such a big part of the game, and I think that was like a astute criticism of the review that I wrote. But one thing that I'd say about the gameplay that I think is like, it's just so playful, and without a way, it gets away with it without really making like the enemies not seem difficult. Like, I'm still intimidated by them, like, you know, even though, like, you get a bunch of wave of dudes coming in, like, you know, I think they do a good job of kind of an Arkham way of relegating different, like, enemy styles and strengths and stuff, but it's just like, this guy right here. Why didn't he not even do that? Okay. This guy just blasting people. That's so much fun. Hitting against the wall.
I've been wondering, what kind of benefits does Hammerhead give you guys? Paid lunches? Team bonding retreats?
Hey Pete, I have more to Cryptic.
Oh, nice to use a finisher on that.
Hit me. No, not you guys!
Okay.
Could have used a little more MJ, I think, in this DLC.
With Watanabe.
Or she will play a more prominent role in the third one. Okay, it's clearly suspension matrix.
Maggio worked just the start of her career. She's made them her entire career.
Your health gets low, just suspension matrix.
She's been responsible for shutting down every Shade DiMaggio joint in town for a decade.
Oh no.
It's pretty amazing to see, actually.
That's Yuri, all right?
She seems like a bulldog. I think I'd like her.
You would. Thanks for the heads up, MJ.
No problem. I'm gonna keep looking into this. Talk to you later.
Where is it? Can we get these guys? Okay. Guys with the big guns are tough. There's a lot of guys.
I can handle this clown. Don't let him pick off any more of us. Nailed him.
Whoa,
Don't worry,
okay,
guys. You'll all be safe from Hammerhead's skull smashing skull in prison. I promise.
There we go. Wow, look at all the guys up there. What are you all looking at?
You want some of this?
Wow, damn. I get some health back.
Up there! Here comes the pain!
I think Unrelenting Fury hits them with, like even shielded guys who just punch right through it. It's my favorite ability. I've not been using it all like this entire time. Oh, yeah. What? Is he shooting me from downstairs? What? Okay. You still have a lot of electrical. Alright, got him. Ow! Brutal. You want to come down here? Who doesn't have a big Gatling gun? Cool. Yeah, enough of you, big guy. Thank you. Seems like he got a lot of health, and it's just gone. Oh, whole other wave of dudes. Wow, this one's actually kind of tricky. Either that, or I'm just really distracted while I'm streaming. I don't know. One or the other. I love this guy is still just stuck and trying to get out. No. Come on. Whoa, that was crazy. Man, how do I deal with you guys? I don't remember. There we go. Ow! What are you guys? Get over here. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I'm running away like a coward. Spruce Goose! Thank you for the sub. Sorry if I missed any subs. I really gotta focus here. It's hard to, like, I even put chat like right next to the television and like just gotta focus. Ah!
Bring him back to Earth!
How many Gatling gun guys are there? Come on. This guy over here. That is not where I wanted to go, Spider-Man. Tight space, but that's fine as long as I'm in cover. There's two guys right next to each other. Look at that. All right.
You're out of your weight class!
Web bombs shakes them off. come on. Oh, come on. Ugh. Madness. Alright. There's one more of those. A whole nother warehouse to do.
Now to see what's in the main office.
Still, you remember your Action Spider-Man reveal trailer? A lot of this can't be the gameplay for gameplay scenes. Yeah, there were gonna do predictions. I don't know if we can necessarily do predictions if we're like judges. That seems a little weird. But yeah, well, actually, some of that stuff when we first saw Spider-Man wasn't gameplay, or at least we never.
I found
that stuff was not included in the game. I think there's like a scene where he's jumping through a diner or something.
I'm sending another encrypted file your way too.
Great work, Pete. I'm going heads down on this article again.
One more for the suit. Luxy Clickbait, thanks for sticking around for the support. But yeah. Yeah, this game blew my mind when I first saw it. I was like, oh, this is too good to be true. This looks amazing. For Last of Us Part 2, I actually, you know, going out on a limb here, it might be disproven someday, you never know. But I think that was gameplay. I'll buy it. I think somebody was playing that game. I've watched that footage a lot, and it's tough, and like, you know, I really sound like I'm blowing smoke, but like whenever I talk about it, but like I take that kind of stuff very seriously when people really try to fake a game and be like, no, yeah, this is the way this game looks. And like, I replayed Last of Us. I never played the remake, or no, the remaster of the first game, and so I finally played that, I think at the beginning of this year. And going from that right into E3, it just, that totally seemed like the evolution of what they pulled off. Because I remember there were some things in Last of Us. I remember feeling the same way about Uncharted. Like, there were animations when I was playing Uncharted. I was like, did he just do what I thought he did? And like, that's Naughty Dog. That's what, I mean, look at this game, and like, this game is so good because Insomniac's been perfecting this. Like, you know, I was curious how open the world was going to be, but like, that was kind of one of the major hurdles or proving grounds really with this game, as far as compared to like some other stuff that they've done.
Going down.
And animation like that in combat, and that intimate type of combat, is just, it's just Naughty Dog's main focus. And so like, I'm not surprised that they were able to pull something like that off. Has Naughty Dog ever faked gameplay? Like, how would you ever know? You know, like, how could you prove it?
MJ, made it to Hammerhead's Upper East Side warehouse.
Oh, Luxy, I just been hanging around tonight.
His online shop orders out of here.
Sticking around.
You guys just casually wandering around?
It's just a silly stream. We're not doing story stuff.
But not for long.
I'm ready for anything you find.
Alrighty, electric webs for the minigun guys. Okay, cool.
Moving this Sable stuff around's got me beat. How you holding up?
I feel like I'm getting shafted on the brakes. I need a whole hour to recoup, and they're only
I like
giving
doing
me
something like
15
this.
minutes.
It's fun.
I hear ya. Working.
You're in timeout.
Line one guy and then punch the other guy as soon as he gets grabbed. Can be a little more stealthy this time. Can this guy see you over here? No. Nice. What about right here for this guy? Nice. At least get one wave done, you know? Or most of one wave. Oop. This guy, nice.
Hey, you got those tickets for the game Saturday? Earth to Bellinelli.
What's going on over there?
Someone go wake his ass up. I'm close. I got it.
Nice. It's gonna be really scary being launched in the air like that.
Land down. Hey, Spider-Man's here. Eyes open. We'll sort through this stuff later. Kill the spider first.
Oh, they
And
did.
here I thought you guys were just using this warehouse to distribute Hammerhead's handmade crafts.
The Boston disregard. In the air.
Enough with the rocket launchers, man. Stop it. Seems like a Spider-Man thing to say. Enough with the rocket launchers! It's gotta be fun playing Spider-Man. It's like so many of your lines are so good.
How many hammerhead thugs does it take to steal ultra-high-tech from an international agency? Guess we'll find out!
Alright, get out of there. Oh, they got me. Alright. We're gonna get a mini cup of Jones. Kind of what it is. You know. Like a quick 5-minute clip. Yeah, it'll probably be more like 10 minutes. Because there actually is a lot to talk about. And we've done announcements on the podcast and group streams lately, but haven't talked about a lot of the stuff. So it sucks that we... Oh no! I thought they would refill everything if we died.
I hear you. We're working us to the bone. I hear some of this stuff can power you up.
That's not grabbing either of them?
Are you serious? If the boss finds out you touched whatever's in there, you're dead. I'll take my chances. Besides, with that stuff powering me up, nothing can stop me. Right. I'll do what you got me!
Surprise!
Turkey baster of Jones. Sure. Jones, do you intentionally not fling rockets back, or do you just not react in time? It's reaction time right now. My reaction time is slowed because the lights are on. I'm reading chat. I'm just a little out of it. It's late. A little sleepy.
Someone needs a nap.
But yeah, and to be honest, I'm not like facing him most of the time. Oops.
You got a death wish, huh? Hey,
You're done.
we'll go through this stuff later. Kill this guy.
And here I thought you guys were just using this warehouse to distribute Hammerhead's handmade crafts.
He's taking out too many of them. I'll break your friggin' jaw. You're going down.
Come on, guys. Am I down here? Grab that. There we go.
How many Hammerhead
Grab that
thugs
one.
does it take to steal ultra-high-tech from an international agency? Guess we'll find out!
Yeah, I probably should grab that guy. There you go. I love when they like swing the gigantic bazookas at you.
I'll teach you respect.
Ah, get out of that stuff.
Got too many men down.
She like didn't have a lot of reaction time on that one. I guess I should like get really far away from those guys, or
You think this specialized armor will fit over your formal wear?
Plenty of time on that one.
Here, I decrypted that third file you sent me.
Cool! I'm also doing important stuff.
Just keep doing what you're doing while I talk at you. It seems like the captain, Yuri's, got some baggage.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. There's some old police records here.
I got that one too. I'm getting better.
Cop.
Huh. Runs in the family.
Kind of. Yuri's father was kicked off the force,
Impact
convicted
wins.
and imprisoned for accepting bribes. Maggio bribes.
He was dirty?
Dirty as they come. Looks to me like Yuri's trying to make up for her dad's mistakes and taking the Maggio down in the process.
Heavy. No wonder she's going so hard on this.
Yeah. I know it's supposed
Wasn't
to be
sure where that was
about the
coming from.
Hammerhead fronts, but this is pretty compelling stuff. Call me back soon.
Out. Okay, it's going good so far. I don't want to get cocky. Where you at? Get over here.
Use the stable stuff if you have to. Just kill it. Maybe you guys should leave this stuff for people who actually enjoy doing science. Whoa! What the hell?
Nice. Oh, those finishers, you just take out somebody, you're like, I just don't like this type of enemy. Just get away from me. Okay, that one followed me around the room. That was fun. Get away. Get down.
I can handle
See, like that, like I heard it beeping and it was behind me, so it's like, how do I zip around fast enough? I just put myself in
Have you guys
compromising
ever
position, I
considered
think.
being less obvious in your crime doings?
I can handle
Okay, now there are a lot of guys. And into the Matrix. And again. Is there a Gatling gun guy? Yeah, right there. Thought that was the finishing move for Gatling gun guy, but it was not. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, did we do it? Yeah! Woo! I had Unrelenting Fury also, and I totally didn't do that. Oh boy, there it is.
All right, that's
Should
one
have
less
the outfit, I
warehouse
don't
full
know.
of Sable Tech for
Might be
Hammerhead
something
to
waiting
use
for me.
against me later. This place houses a ton of Sable
Didn't
server
perform
space.
enough swing
Hope Hammerhead
kicks.
hasn't
We gotta
gotten
go
into it
back.
yet.
We gotta do it again. Gotta get the swing kicks. I'll go through here.
Time to collect. I'm done here. Sending you one last encrypted file and...
You don't have to. I already know what it's gonna say.
You do?
Hammerhead's not the only one who can get his hands on files he shouldn't have.
I'm in my 20s and I wouldn't be able to stream at 2 a.m. Great job. Nice. It's about an hour. Kind of what I expected. I don't have trophies. Spider-Clan suit. Nice. I don't know the trophy.
Yuri's been disciplined lately. A lot. She's entirely focused
notifications
on stopping
turned
Hammerhead
on,
and
so...
the Maggia. She's
Oh,
not
I guess I do.
protocol.
Never mind. There it is.
It doesn't look good for her.
Luckily, she's got people who have her back.
Yeah. Listen, Peter. This makes better copy than the Hammerhead friends. I've got to pitch it.
I know you do. I know.
Okay. I owe you one for these files. And I hope things work out for your friend.
Thanks, MJ. Me too.
Well, that's kind of a cool little twist. Also, just a tiny bit spoilery. Apologies. Oh, this city is my family. Because she's a reporter, so it's like an interesting moment where it's like, yeah, you can publish that story, but that's really going to hurt a friend of mine. And MJ's like, sorry, it's my job. Very cool. All right. Suit spoilers. For everybody who doesn't want suit spoilers, good night, good morning, good day. But it's time. Check out the suit I just unlocked. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's so great. It's just like all of a sudden it's just a completely different game. Like, look at that. That's so cool, and it's very different from the other one. Like, I thought it was just going to be kind of another variant of that fun costume. And it does kind of a cel-shaded vibe, but it's just a totally different attitude. Oh, it's so much fun.
I'd just like to make it clear that I am perfectly capable of running this show alone and absolutely know how to work this computer by myself. Shut it, Jared, I'm getting to it. But you, loyal listeners, should know that I choose not to. I'm getting to it. And that's why I have decided, of my own accord, that's enough, Jared, to bring my assistant, Jared, back to the Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson operation. And to apologize to him on the air, what I'm doing now. Right now. And
is there a way to, like, shut up J. Jonah?
This right now, you little...
Left from the D-pad or something.
And to give him a raise. Tune back in soon for more Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson.
I was like, let me just run up this building, and I think this is Avengers Tower. I picked a good building to run up. You can unsubscribe from it in the menu, that's right. I thought there was some way to, like... What's my best surprise? 2018? God, I don't know. I think that requires a much better command of what happened this year than I, like, have right now. This is really frustrating that he doesn't, like, climb up onto it. I think you have to be, like, creative. There we go. Oh, I'm in love with this costume. It's so great. So cool, yeah, let me, I don't know if there's any other questions you had about DLC or just something you want to say. That's it. I'm gonna wrap the stream up. I just wanted to finish that. If you're hanging around, I guess that means you don't care about other suit spoilers, but, here are the other two costumes that you can unlock. The Iron Spider armor. And this very death metal looking thing. Yeah. It's hard to see him when he's wearing that outfit. But, this new one. Well, thanks, Servorn. Thanks, everybody. I see some fun conversations on Twitch chat at 2 o'clock in the morning. I apologize for interrupting them with my Spider-Man play. But, I love that you can not only feel the speed picking up when you fall from that great of a distance, but you can hear the gyros in the controller. As you get closer and closer to the ground. And it's funny that I guess he has the same, like, character model in every costume, but, like, he looks like a whole different like, character. Looks like a whole different Peter Parker, a whole different Spider-Man in this outfit. Get a couple backflips in, some side spins. Backflip. This game's fun. We're gonna wrap it up. Come on, we gotta pick the right building. Oscorp, maybe? Maybe we'll just go to the end of this building. Look out at Central Park. I love that there's just randomly planes flying overhead. Oh, those two planes are very close to each other. Spider-Man the game. I will not play you again likely until the end of December when we get the third and final DLC, whose name I don't remember. The whole thing is called The City Is Never Sleeps. First episode called The Heist. This is Turf Wars. Focus on the villain Hammerhead, who I was not very familiar with, but had some fun time with. Beating him up and his goons, and running around the city, and certainly unlocking this amazing outfit. I'm glad that we could do that together. I'm glad that we could share this time so late at night. I'm going to set this podcast to export, and then I'm going to go to bed. Silver Lining, there we go, is Silver Sable, I'm assuming, is going to be coming back in the final DLC. Everybody's been scrambling for their equipment, which is kind of fun in a way, in an MCU kind of a way of like having a thread like that go through all the DLC, like the diamond in the Grand Theft Auto 4 DLC. But I had the Cell Shaded 101 cutscene confirm it was weird, especially interacting with other people. I had to change it. Yeah, it's been really fun replaying this game. I'm tempted to do New Game Plus, same thing with God of War, and to just wear whatever costume I want, because I definitely wanted to be conservative with my costume choices when I captured footage for the review. But and Raul Giovanni, I'm glad that there's some people in the EU that are liking this time. Don't get used to this. I will not do this every Wednesday, but it seemed like kind of a fun thing. I had it in the back of my mind, and then I mentioned it on the group stream, and once you mention something like that on the group stream, it's like, well, I gotta do it. So that is it. Jones signing off. I'm gonna go get some sleep and have some fun playing Fallout 76 or Red Dead or Spider-Man or whatever you're playing. And we'll see you later. Fun streams coming up. Check the schedule. Could be a perfect new Wednesday stream, 2 in the morning. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. Good night, everybody.